Welcome back everybody to another demonstration video from Conical Technologies. In today's video we're going to demonstrate how we can make an uninterruptible 24 volt DC supply by using some of the products available from Conical Technologies. So to start with, we're using a mornsun 24 volt power supply. It is the LIF 480-10B24R2. It is a 24 volt DC out, a 20 amp power supply, and it's got a 100 to 240 volt AC input. And for the DC UPS side of it, we're going to use the mornsun LUPS 20-24-FN. It is a 24 volt 20 amp DC UPS with a battery management function. It can take up to 150 amp hour battery. It can be used with both lead acid batteries as well as lithium batteries. You can set the DC UPS in various functions, which we will get into a little bit later on in this video. Then for the load side, we're using a Planet 4G LTE wireless gateway. It has 4 ports. Input ports, and then a WAN port, and then the control port. But a little bit more on the Planet router later on in the video. Then we are going to use a PV power supply for this UPS as well. So for the PV part, we're using another mornsun product. It's a DC to DC converter. It's model number URF1D-24QB-100WR3. This is a 24 volt 100 watt DC to DC converter. It's got a wide input range of 43 volt DC to 150 volts DC to give you your 24 volt DC output. Then just for switching the DC UPS part, we're using a relay and a circuit breaker for the mains. The mains part feeds the 230 volts input to the mornsun power supply. When looking at what is currently happening now, we do not have an error light on our DC UPS, indicating that we do have indeed the 24 volt DC like we just discussed. Now we are going to lose the AC to this power supply, meaning that we will not have a 24 volt input coming from the power supply anymore. The DC will come from the mornsun DC to DC converter. The input of the mornsun DC to DC converter is being supplied by the iTech ITM3432 bidirectional power supply. At the moment it is set to 60 volts, and it is applying input power to the mornsun DC to DC converter. Now we're going to lose mains. We can see that we did not have a status change on the DC UPS, indicating that it is still receiving 24 volts, but the 24 volts is now coming from a solar panel which is being simulated by the iTech bidirectional power supply and the mornsun DC-DC converter. If we then do lose all 24 volt input sources, which I can demonstrate by switching off the output of the iTech bidirectional power supply, you can see that we had a status change on the DC UPS, and the DC UPS is now supplying output power to our gateway via the battery pack. So if we do get mains returning then before PV comes back, you can see that the power supply has taken over the input to the DC UPS, and the alarm status has disappeared. If the reverse happens and we did lose mains and the solar PV power comes back before mains, you can see that we had a status change, and now your system is working from the solar panel. This system is ideally suited for security and camera systems supplying 24 volt DC constantly during load shedding and during long power outages. All the links to the equipment is in the description below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.